Welcome to the bold analysis. Those who like reading the columns in newspapers over the weekend, you must have bumped on this article. Mount Kenya should discover 1970s mojo. That article has been trending, and for those who understand or want to understand about Gikuyu politics, I think I will encourage you to just Google that article. That is the title, Mount Kenya should rediscover 1970s mojo. It is an article that was published by Murang'a Governor Irungu Kang'ata, an eye-opener ripping apart the current crop of Mount Kenya leaders using a very critical strategy, or rather using a very critical column, using the writings of Sir John Black, which says, "The fate of empires and search for survival." That is what you liken with the current development happening, political trajectories happening in Mount Kenya. And Irungu Kang'ata has done the gospel work, has done the gospel work to share it in that article. He is foreseeing the decline of the current crop of empires that are being built in Mount Kenya because of the latest political trajectories. And I want us to go step by step, understanding what is in that script. I've tried to also look at it bit in summaries. He's saying, empires rises and falls in certain stages, but then learning from it, there is something that he wants the region to pick from the 1970s mojo. And after outburst characterized by show of energy and courage, they look for commercial gains. This is what happened in the last presidential election, where the uprising politicians from the region had an outburst. No one knew Rigathi Gachagua, because remember, he was a first-time member of parliament in Madeira, and having served in the civil service for some time, and no one knew Ndedi Nyoro until he was appointed as CDF chairman by the current senator Irungu Kang'ata in Kiharu constituency, and launched his political career there. And no one knew quite a number of other young politicians that are then sprouting there. The first stage, and what Irungu Kang'ata is saying, is that they had an outburst characterized by courage, the courage that is shown by going after a sitting king of the region, former President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Energy of going to the rallies and, doing combative politics against Uhuru Kenyatta. And Irungu Kang'ata in that article says that they will then endeavor for commercial gains, which comes after the battle, after the victory of the battle, in the battle. As we speak now, one of the things that is happening is that those who were in the front line are now taking time for wealth creation. And what that article says is, subjection to one government acts as a stimulant. It's the true depiction of what is happening. If you have been a keen political observer, you will agree with me. The region and the politicians that have sharpened their knives against any sort of political compromise between William Ruto and perceived opposition frontiers are the leaders from Mount Kenya. And Irungu Kang'ata seems to be sounding that warning, that the commercial gains to collect, to get wealth and create resources is because the stimulant is one government, acts as one government. Remember, that is why they don't want anyone. It's a situation of it's our time to eat, we fought for it, it's us. And no one thinks about others. Now, this is what happened even in the 1990s during the Moi era. There was only one government, one party, KANU, until 1992. And you realize that people that worked under KANU, maybe by that time our economy was not that much aggressive. But they're the people that own huge tracts of land in different parts of the country. It's because the stimulant of accumulation of those large parcels of land was one government. There was no one else. And that is what that article likens with the current political dispensation we're having. Then, after that, they opt out for opulence, art, and luxury as their commercial grow into wealth. What he's saying here is, after coming out courageously, showing your courage, the Didi Nyoros and the Gadagasharos of the time, you then get it and then settle for commercial. You know, then after that, you go for art, you opt for art, affluence, opulence, and luxury. At that moment, that is what Irungu Kangata is explaining in these critical three interpretations. That money causes this decline of these strongmen. Money causes the decline of the strongmen. And I want to explain this part a bit. Who would know that in Kenya Kwanza, like, let me take examples. Let me take this one, the mosquito net scandal and the sugar, you know, the contaminated sugar. Who would even think that Moses Kuria ministry and Rigathi Gachagua will even be named or linked with a corruption scandal after taking nearly 3 years or 4 years running smear campaign against Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta? Who would think that at one time that will happen? In running a lot of smear campaign against Uhuru Kenyatta, who will even least think that at one point these fellows will be smeared with corruption scandals? And that is the true depiction of money brings strong people down. There was a recent Sagana meeting where the MPs, or rather Mount Kenya leaders, had already planned to do some 1 shilling 1 vote, but they were subdued. We have seen and heard very many stories being documented about people around William Ruto and who support William Ruto are even bribed so that they pass some bills in favor of the government of the day, which goes against the wish of the people. So that is the true depiction, and that's what Irungu Kangata is saying, that money will bring these empires down. 2, and has given a very good example I want to show you here. Lack of loyalty and self-sacrifice to citizens. I want to give you an example. Part of that article, he's saying this. He's giving the late Charles Rubia, a second liberation hero and a long-serving cabinet minister in Kenyatta and Moi era. Before he passed on, gave yours truly instructions to pursue 2 issues. He gave Irungu Kangata instructions to pursue 2 issues, Charles Rubia, before he passed on. Number 1, his compensation against the state for the torture after his detention in 1990. That's what Charles Rubia told Kangata. Number 2, he also instructed a follow-up on some 3,000 acres of land which had mobilized his Kandara Moranga people to buy way back in 1970s in Coast, but squatters forcefully occupied it in 1992 tribal clashes. His wish was government to compensate the said Moranga group since they have titles but the land is now occupied by local community. And then he's saying, he visited the land 2 weeks ago and realized it was strategically placed. One is very impressed with the foresight of Murang'a peasants had in 1970. How could they organize themselves and pick such an important strategic land those years? Then he's asking, can the present modern generation of Mount Kenya do something similar? What is asking? Can they do something similar? The aggression to fight and to look for self-sacrifice for their citizens. And he's given an example of what Charles Robia did. Lastly, talking about the prosperity and how people got large tracts of land, people built empires, banks, cooperatives, and different sectors boomed. But then he's saying that what is also another agent of decline is prosperity, and one thing they should do to make sure they get it right, that does get right, there is prosperity outside state and independent government patronage. You should not take, patronage is patriotism, from the word patriotism. And so, you make your wealth and success not because of government patronage, not because you have to go and kiss, not using the word kiss here. You must go and impress William Ruto so that you get what you want. Because the 1970s mojo was not about the impressing the leader. It was about self-sacrifice to citizens. I want to urge you to look for that article. It's very informative and very interesting, and I promise you, you will love it. He's saying that the rise and the fall of the current crop of Mount Kenya leaders. That, if you read that article, that is the tone, and that was the real message behind it. I wish someone gets it home. Thank you.